Aloha kako. My name is Arnie Saiki, and I am the director of a nonprofit on ecological accounting. I am also a curriculum writer for a university, a researcher, organizer, and activist focusing on national and ecological accounting issues. Ecological accounting is how we decolonize accounting systems. Asserting an ecological accounting side table may be the clearest way to transition to an economy that brings equity to the global south. As we move towards a multilateral world, adopting an ecological accounting side table for Africa, the Caribbean, Pacifica, and other members of the G77 will do more to restore our ecological biodiversity, promote well being, and potentially reverse the impacts of climate change and any top down program proposed by the Washington Consensus. As a proposal for economic and ecological justice, I humbly ask to submit this intervention to the Africa Climate Summit taking place September 4th to 6th, 2023 in Nairobi, Kenya. Data localism, data localism, data localism. If developing countries and regions do not adhere to strong regulatory ownership and management of their environmental data, they will remain casualty to the curse of ongoing resource theft, resulting in billions, if not trillions of dollars lost as environmental data is diverted to Western markets. These are hundreds of billions of dollars that countries and communities will be able to leverage for infrastructure and their own development priorities. Without data sovereignty, revenue would continue to flow out to investment cabals, bypassing the needs of people and local governments. National accounting systems will soon be transitioning to include environmental data, and wealth accumulating environmental markets are being devised to maximize capital values that will largely go to benefit the very same economies that capitalized from centuries of ecological degradation, resource depletion, and labor exploitation. Environmental data can only be counted once, and policies to create transparent data flows are backdoor efforts to acquire, manage, own, and steal the data that belongs to peoples and regions. This is being done in a variety of ways. The managing of our green and blue spaces, like forestry protections and maritime protected areas through environmental conservation or preservation groups, are one example of how environmental data theft will transpire. Another is through military defense management of our EEZs or other land and defense enclosures. Another way is through carbon swap schemes or restoration funds. These initiatives are projected by World Bank estimates to be over $100 trillion, managed assets that can be leveraged for debt alleviation and infrastructure. Our environmental data can be used to wipe out the total $1.3 trillion debt of the ACP countries, or it can be used to wipe out the $60 trillion debt of the OECD countries. The value of our data local markets should be leveraging for greater access to development and infrastructure. When foreign investors come with $1 million offers to protect or manage environments, these so-called deals are equivalent to shaving splinters off a penny. What can we do? Demand local ownership of our data. If investors reject data localism, arguing that they must be able to verify the data, communities and governments should offer to utilize independent auditors and regulators to verify and manage data to international standards. If foreign investors continue to reject data local efforts, citing technical reason that they need to harmonize their data to international standards, then you will know that there is a cabal of theft happening under your very noses. These are strategies that we can use to defend our regional capacity to manage our environmental data, and our governments need to make use of our multilateral environment to maximize greater equity of our ecological biodiversity and well-being indicators so that we can create equal access to revenue, infrastructure, and development on our own terms. Intemperate Earth, our nonprofit, has produced an accounting equation that may be used as an example of how local data ownership can promote new, locally driven environmental markets, benefiting not just the global south, but all fragile, impacted, and vulnerable communities. In this time of multilateralism, we should not give away our future. We hope that you can accept this intervention when discussing climate and development policy. Environmental data markets and ecological well-being accounting systems need to decolonize for the benefit of our people and planet. Thank you very much.